Are you super excited still?
Yeah.
Last semester.
Now I feel less
Look your dress.
I like your slides.
Bentley. That one picture of the rock, that's what it is. That woman. I think you should wear a suit jacket. You should wear like a jacket over the skirt. Or a thinner purple X for half. This is like a skin. I like a good like suit jacket over the turtleneck.
If everybody wants to start finding their seats, we're going to go ahead and get started here in about a minute. I now call this meeting of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association Student Senate to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to begin our Student Senate meeting taking place on Thursday, April 7th, 2022 with a land acknowledgement. We recognize that Kansas State University, as the first land-grant institution, stands on the ancestral grounds of the Kaw people. Our state of Kansas is home to 4 federally recognized Native nations: the Iowa, Kickapoo, Prairie Band Potawatomi, and Sac and Fox. We must remember that the land serving as the foundation for this institution was and still is stolen land acquired by white settlers. We pledge our commitment to creating decolonized spaces at the university while advocating for the support and future success of Indigenous faculty, staff, and students at K-State. And with that, Speaker Pro Tempore Pineda Gomez will take it away with our first roll call.
Thanks, Evan. Good evening, everybody. Now to start it off, Anderson.
Here.
Bannister.
Here.
Barron.
Here.
Bellamy.
Here.
Broughton.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Byrne. Compton. Cranford. DePaz. Dole.
Here.
Grills.
Here.
Gromas.
Here.
Heatherman. Hoffman.
Here.
Johnson. Caller recall.
Here.
I'll get that right. Sorry, Joe. Kidd.
Here.
Nisley.
Here.
Lister. Long.
Here.
Lister is here. Lynn.
Here.
McFarland.
Here.
McPhee.
Here.
Navarro.
Here.
O'Donohue. Oury.
Here.
Pelton.
Here.
Phillips.
Here.
Pilchard.
Here.
Pondio.
Here.
Rogers. Roth. Saya.
Here.
Shear.
Here.
Shear. Strap. Topper.
Here.
Thomas.
Here.
Baltimore.
Thanks, Juan. And with that, we are moving into first open period. Are there any speakers for first open period?
Will Strout is here.
We got that, Peyton. Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Are there any speakers for first open period? All right, seeing none, we will move into approval of the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes? Senator Thomas.
I move to approve the minutes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes that were distributed on Tuesday with the agenda. Are there any objections? All right, seeing none, the minutes stand approved. And with that, we will move into announcements. So first, we are still seeking students to attend the accreditation meeting with the Higher Learning Commission. This is a really important meeting that the university hosts the Higher Learning Commission, and it's how we get our accreditation. And when we get our accreditation, that's how you all get your federal student aid. So it's really important that we put on a good face at that meeting and have a lot of really good student representation there. Next, the Open on Alternative Textbooks Initiative will be holding their spring 2022 OATI review on Thursday, April 20th from 1 to 2:30. We're looking for one more student senator to attend this meeting. You can contact me if you're interested in that. Next, the Union Governing Board is still looking for a student senate representative for their 2022-23 term. This is a year-long appointment, and we would love to have a student senator representing us. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me, or I know there are a couple other student senators that are UGB members outside of Student Senate that you could reach out to as well. Next, this Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., student senators will have the opportunity to interview with our committee chairs for committee selection. Interviewing for positions is not required, but please consider filling out that interest form and signing up for an interview time. Next, we will have new committee chair training on Tuesday, March 12th at 6 p.m. in the CSI conference room. This will cover Robert's Rules of Order and how to effectively and efficiently run a meeting. This is required for all our new committee chairs, but anyone is welcome to attend. Senators, cabinet members, anyone that is interested in learning a bit about Robert's Rules and how to run a meeting, feel free to attend that. And next, proxies. If you're going to be absent from Student Senate, please fill out the proxy form. Even if you're not sure, your absence will be excused. And then there's that Zoom request form. If you want to still attend Senate, but you won't be in Manhattan, or you're sick, or you have any other, there's a couple other reasons, you can fill out that Zoom request form. Next, if you want to give props to someone in Student Senate, you can fill out the student shout-out form, and Pro Tempore Pineda Gomez will read those at the end of the meeting. And lastly, the SGA member of the week is Jacob Long. Jacob has put a lot of work in on the sports club allocation over the past few weeks. Additionally, he has gone above and beyond to meet with students and represent their interest in Student Senate. Thanks for all your hard work, Jacob. And then there is our weekly calendar for the upcoming week. And the quote of the week is, "Success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which they have overcome while trying to succeed." And that was Booker T. Washington. And proxies for this week, we have Lynn for Roth, Anderson for Stout, Gomez for Rogers, Kidd for Middaugh, Saya for Davidson, Bannister for DePaz, Phillips for Murphy, Broughton for Johnson, and Salmon for Schindler. And with that, we will now move into approval of appointments. Is there a motion to consider Resolution 4? Senator Salmon.
Move to consider Resolution 4. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Will the author please come forward? And that's me. Hello? Oh, that's on. Okay, this is Resolution 22-2304, approval of new student senators, authors me, sponsors me. Whereas there are currently 3 vacancies for the position of student senator for the College of Arts and Sciences, whereas Ethan Pilchard has the next highest vote total of eligible and willing candidates in the 2022 SGA general election in the College of Arts and Sciences, whereas there are currently 2 vacancies for the position of student senator for the College of Business Administration, and whereas Will Strout has the next highest vote total of eligible and willing candidates in the 2022 SGA general election in the College of Business Administration, be it resolved that Section 1, the following individual be approved as a student senator for the College of Arts and Sciences, Ethan Pilchard, and Section 2, the following individual be approved as a student senator for the College of Business Administration, Will Strout.
Are there any questions or corrections? That was none.
Are there any questions or corrections? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve? Oh, Senator Salmon.
Yeah, I move to approve the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Are there any objections? Seeing none, Resolution 4 stands approved. So will Ethan and Will please come down, and any other senators that we just haven't gotten sworn in up to this point, will you come down as well? All right, if you'll raise your right hand and say, "I will" at the end. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of Student Senator and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association.
I will.
Awesome, thank you. So we're going to start off with Ethan. If you want to give us your name, major, hometown, and your favorite smell.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ethan Pilchard. My hometown is Shawnee, Kansas. Grew up there and lived there my whole life. Major is political science, and my favorite smell is also my favorite scenery, which is a bonfire next to an ocean at sunset.
Hi there, my name is Will Stroud. I am a sales and entrepreneurship student, and dang, I already forgot the questions.
Name, major, hometown, favorite smell.
Okay, my hometown is Leawood, Kansas, and then my favorite smell is not that, but like a cinnamon candle.
Hi, my name is Nick Saya. I'm a student in civil engineering. I'm from Olathe, Kansas, and my favorite smell is the airport.
Hi, my name's Haley McPhee. I'm majoring in HR management. My hometown's Denver, Colorado, and my favorite smell is rain.
Okay, you can take your seats. All right, and next is Resolution 5. Is there a motion to consider Resolution 5? Senator Pilchard.
I motion to consider Resolution 5. Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to consider Resolution 5. Are there any objections? Seeing none, will the author please come forward? Surprise, it's me again. All right, this is Resolution 5, approval of standing committee chairs and parliamentarian. Authors me, sponsors Juan Pineda Gomez. Whereas it is necessary to appoint and ratify the chairs of the Student Senate standing committees and the Student Senate parliamentarian, whereas these positions were sufficiently advertised, whereas applications and interviews were made available to all students who expressed interest in Kansas State University Student Governing Association, whereas there were 14 applicants for these 7 positions, and whereas these individuals were chosen on the basis of their leadership ability, experience, and dedication to serving the Kansas State University student body throughout the next term, be it resolved that Section 1, the following individuals be approved for their respective offices for the 2022-2023 Kansas State University Student Governing Association term. Bryce Atchison, Student Senate Parliamentarian; Bentley Talbert, Senate Operations Committee Chair; Blake Phillips, Student Services Fee Committee Chair; Jacob Long, Student Allocations Committee Chair; Kate Thomas, Tuition Enhancements Committee Chair; Joseph Pondillo, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee Chair; and Nick Saya, Strategic Oversight Committee Chair.
Are there any questions or corrections for the author? Is there a motion to approve unanimously? Senator Hoffman.
I move to approve unanimously.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve Resolution 5 unanimously. Are there any objections? Seeing none, Resolution 5 now stands approved. All right, will my 6 committee chairs please come on down? No, stand over here. I will stand over there. Oh, there's Blake. All right, please raise your right hand and say "I will" at the end. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of Standing Committee Chair and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association.
I will.
Awesome, thank you. Nick, you can sit down.
I will.
Blake, go ahead and go first. Name, major, hometown's favorite smell, and your pronouns.
Gotcha. Sorry for that super late. I will. My name's Blake Phillips. I'm currently a junior at K-State studying management information systems and supply chain management. My pronouns are he, him, and my favorite smell is the brown sugar and vanilla Airwick that I currently have.
All right, my name is Jacob Long. I'm a sophomore in construction science management. My pronouns are he, him. I'm from Olathe, Kansas, and my favorite smell is a mocha.
Hi, my name is Kate Thomas. I am a sophomore studying political science and history. I use she, her pronouns. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, and my favorite smell is lavender.
Hi guys, I am Joseph Pondillo, he, him pronouns, from Lawton, Oklahoma. Let's see, I've done this so many times within like the past couple weeks, you know. Anyways, what else is there? My major is political science, and my favorite smell has to be a wood candle.
I'm Bentley Talbert. I'm a freshman studying political science pre-law. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, he, him pronouns. And my favorite smell is like any good laundry detergent, really. Like clean clothes just smell good.
Way to go, Bentley.
All right, thank you to our committee chairs. You can go ahead and be seated. Also, take your name tent. You get new ones. Bryce. Go on this side, Bryce. All right, raise your right hand and say "I will" at the end. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of Student Senate Parliamentarian and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association.
I will.
All right, same thing, Bryce. Name, major, hometown, favorite smell, and your pronouns.
Sweet. All right, y'all. My name is Bryce Atchison. I am from Tonganoxie, Kansas. My major is agricultural economics with a secondary major global food systems leadership. I use he, him pronouns, and my favorite smell is, of course, silage.
Thank you, Bryce. All right, and with that, is there a motion to consider Resolution 6? Chair Long.
I move to consider Resolution 6. Second.
It has been moved and seconded to consider Resolution 6. Are there any objections? All right, seeing none, the author, you can come on down.
See, like I'm wearing heels today, so I could probably lift this up a little higher.
Could you?
I could, actually. Okay, I have a friendly amendment.
What is it? State that amendment.
Can I just add student athlete liaison in the first whereas clause? Line probably 13, but probably would be pushed down to 14. End of the first whereas clause, like that big old paragraph where we state all the positions. Yeah, student athlete liaison.
What, Jeffrey?
Can we also add campus connections to line 15?
Forget that. Oh, I didn't. Well, then take it out, because I put it in the one above.
Did not exist in the cabinet above.
Is that a campus connections director?
Yep.
Yeah, so take it out of line 12, 13 as well, then. I'm right with you, Megan.
Are there any other amendments, Marta?
Yeah, can we add student athlete liaison to the like
Nope,
line?
it was in the last one.
Huh?
It was in the last cabinet.
I know. Let me finish. It's line 46.
Add line 46.
Add line 46 and put student athlete liaison. Patricia Hokinson.
Anything else?
That's it. Never let me write a legislation ever again. Can you write it for me next time?
All right, go ahead, Marta.
Okay. So Resolution 222306, approval of the student body president's cabinet. Authors Jeff Ebeck, Peyton Lynn, Marta Richenberg, and Parker Volgamore. Sponsors Ethan Brown and Evan Porter. Whereas the Constitution and bylaws of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association specify the executive branch of the KSU SGA includes the following positions as members of the student body president's cabinet: Public Relations Director, International Affairs Director, Multicultural Affairs Director, Legislative Director, Local Relations Director, Sustainability Director, Technology Director, Academic Affairs Director, Athletics Liaison, Basic Needs Director, Campus, oh, we took that one out, Sexual Assault Prevention and Awareness Director, and Student Athlete Liaison. Whereas included with the President's Cabinet in the 2022-2023 term is Recruitment Director and Campus Connections Director. Whereas these positions were sufficiently advertised via applications made available to all students who showed interest in KSU SGA and via social media. There were 36 applicants for these 19 positions, and whereas these individuals were chosen on the basis of their leadership ability, experience, and dedication to serving students of Kansas State University throughout the 2022-2023 term. Be it resolved that Section 1, the following individuals be confirmed as members of the 2022-2023 Student Body President's Cabinet. Academic Affairs Director Stasia Mendoza, Athletics Liaison Hunter Flack, Basic Needs Director Ross Latta, Campus Access Director Ethan Brown, Campus Connections Director Megan Splekel, International Affairs Director Tatiana Lesme, Legislative Director Logan Cohn, Local Relations Director Cameron James Rose, Multicultural Affairs Director Emmanuel Uguebu, Public Relations Director Dakota Cherney, Recruitment Director Bryson Warren, Sexual Assault Prevention and Awareness Director Taylor Witt, Student Finance Director Parker Larson, Sustainability Director Catherine Rodriguez, Technology Director Zach Rankin, Health and Wellbeing Director Jessica Binkley, Student Athlete Liaison Patricia Hokinson.
All right, thanks, Marta. Are there any questions or corrections for the author?
I have a question.
Senator Solomon.
Yeah, what's the difference between athletics liaison and the student athlete director?
So the student athlete liaison is a student athlete. So it's somebody that normally is a part of SAAC, right? Yeah. And so they sit on that committee, so their responsibility is just kind of relay information of what like the student athletes are feeling. And then athletics liaison is just somebody in cabinet who works with the athletics. That's not a student athlete, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I was just curious because they're close.
Any further questions? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to approve Resolution 6? Senator Bellamy.
I move to approve Resolution 6 unanimously. Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve Resolution 6 unanimously. Are there any objections? Seeing none, Resolution 6 now stands approved. And yeah, all our cabinet directors, go ahead and come on down.
I'll be over here.
Okay, we can scoot more this way. Sorry, we got a lot of you.
How are you?
Peace.
I'm kidding.
All right, perfect. So if you could raise your right hand and say, I will, at the end. I do solemnly swear to affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of Cabinet Director and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of Kansas State University Student Governing Association. Now, name, hometown major, pronouns, and favorite smell.
All right, my name is Parker Larson. My hometown is Overland Park, Kansas. Oh, I lost my, what else?
Pronouns.
Oh, my pronouns are he, him, and my favorite smell is coffee.
Hi, my name is Stasia Mendoza. I'm from Lenexa, Kansas. My pronouns are she, her, and my favorite smell is old books.
Hi, my name is Cameron James Rose. My hometown's Olathe, Kansas. My pronouns are he, him. Majoring in finance, and my favorite smell is probably like Home Depot, like right when you walk in.
I'm Trisha Hokinson. My major is Human Development and Family Science. My pronouns are she, her, yep, okay. And yes, my hometown is Buckland, Kansas, and my favorite smell is also coffee.
Hi, my name is Emmanuel Uguebu. So, sorry, Martha. Please don't call me that. You might not get the last name, and I will get pissed. Just call me Manny. I am majoring in biology pre-medicine, and I am from Lenexa, Kansas. And my favorite, he, him, and my favorite smell was, I can't talk today. My favorite smell will also be coffee, vanilla, precisely.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica Binkley, she, her pronouns. I'm a psychology pre-med major from Kansas City, Missouri, and my favorite smell is probably a tire shop.
My name is Katie Rodriguez. I'm from Overland Park, Kansas. My majors are psychology and biology. My pronouns are she, her, and my favorite smell is vanilla.
Hi everyone, my name is Tatiana Lesme. I'm a marketing and entrepreneurship major. My hometown is Asunción, Paraguay, South America, and my pronouns are she, her, and my favorite smell is soap.
All right, hey everybody, I'm Ross Latta. I am a double major in organizational and HR management. My pronouns are he, him. I'm from Marysville, Kansas, and my favorite smell is Orscheln's.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dakota Cherney. I am a junior here at K-State studying mass communications and journalism with a minor in leadership studies. Let's see here. My pronouns are he, him, and my favorite smell has got to be like fresh cut grass.
Hello all. It's been such a long time. My name is Ethan Brown. He, him, his pronouns. I'm from Salina, Kansas, marketing major. And it's going to sound weird. You're going to have to know me for this. But my favorite smell is the faint, distant smell of manure.
I'm Logan Cohn. I'm from Lone Tree, Colorado. I'm studying supply chain management and management information systems. He, him pronouns. I'd say citrus is probably my favorite smell.
I'm Hunter Flack, he, him pronouns. I'm from Shawnee, Kansas, studying accounting, and my favorite smell would have to be rain.
My name is Bryson Warren. I'm from Odell, Nebraska, majoring in agricultural economics and finance. And my favorite smell would have to be freshly cut pine tree.
Hi everyone, my name is Megan Spleakle. I'm majoring in organizational management and pre-law. I'm a junior here, and then my favorite smell is mahogany teak wood from Bath & Body Works.
You can all go ahead and take your seats. Thank you. Alrighty, and with that, is there a motion to consider Resolution 7? Senator Kidd?
I move resolution 7, but also can you open the chat on Zoom?
Yeah, Bryce? Thanks for that,
I
Marcus.
move resolution 7. Second.
It has been moved and seconded to consider Resolution 7. Any objections? All right, seeing none, will the author please come forward? It's me again. It's a lot more empty in here now. All right, this is Resolution 222307, Approval of Student Governing Association Communications Director. Authors me, sponsors Kathleen Cowell, myself, and Parker Volgamore. Whereas it is necessary to appoint and approve the Communications Director of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association, whereas this position was sufficiently advertised, whereas this individual was chosen on the basis of their leadership ability, experience, and dedication to serving the Kansas State University student body throughout the next term, be it resolved that Section 1, the following individual be approved as Communications Director for the 2022-2023 Kansas State University Student Governing Association term, Kennedy Getz.
Are there any questions or corrections for the author? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve unanimously? Senator Grills.
I motion to approve Resolution 7.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve Resolution 7 unanimously. Are there any objections? Seeing none, Resolution 7 stands approved. Kennedy, you want to come on down? You're on this side. You want to raise your right hand and say, I will at the end. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of Communications Director and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association.
I will.
Awesome, thank you. If you want to give us your name, pronouns, hometown, favorite smell, and your major.
I'm Kennedy Getz. I'm majoring in political science and journalism. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. My favorite smell is Taco Bell, and my pronouns are she, her.
All right, thanks, Kennedy. Okay, and with that, we will now move into committee reports. Are there any committee chairs that would like to give a report? Raise your placard, Bentley. Chair Talbert. Yeah, come on down. Bryce, do you want to open that?
Okay, so when we met for exec, we thought it'd be a good idea to everyone that's a chair create a PowerPoint discussing a little bit about what their committee does. I was trying to think of a good way to explain what Senate Operations is, and the best way I can explain it, it's kind of like the custodian committee. Our job is to basically make sure that everything is, clean, everything's stocked fully. So, like, one of the things we do is we do appointments. So, like, if there is a insufficient amount of senators within your school, we are the ones that, find the senator that will fill in that seat, and then they'll be appointed. We also, a big thing, probably the biggest, is we look at legislation before it comes to you guys. We make sure that there's nothing wrong with the legislation, that there's no typos, that we don't have awkward moments where people are like, typo. And then we also do impeachment and expulsions. Last year, he said that we better include it. It was Committee of the Year. I also included that it's the cool committee, but that's also true.
Absolutely correct.
If you need to contact me, I left my contact information up there. Please do not prank call me.
Thank you. Bentley, are there any questions? Senator Pondello, or excuse me, Chair Pondello.
So, you claim it's a cool committee, but there's a sun. How do those correlate?
Oxymoron.
Senator Hoffman.
Yeah, you said you don't want prank calls, but what will you do if I do prank call you? Spell you, obviously.
Consider blocking you.
Any more?
Any further questions for Chair Talbert? All right, seeing none, you can take your seat.
One more.
Oh.
How do you want me to put your name in my phone?
Chair T.
Okay.
Thank you, Bentley. Are there any further committee reports tonight? Chair Phillips.
All right. Hello, everyone. Sorry that I couldn't join you in person today. I got to go to opening day at the K, which Royals won. Bobby Witt Jr. got his first major league hit. So if you're a Royals fan like me, you're probably pretty excited. But I'm here to talk to you all today about the Student Services Fee Committee. I did want to mention really quick, since Ops included it, Student Services Fee was Committee of the year prior to last year, so we're still pretty dope as well. But anyway, looking at the Student Services Fee Committee, I know that you all are going to be doing your committee preferences this week, and you should definitely consider putting the Student Services Fee Committee really high on your list. We're super cool. As you can see, this is one of the things that impacts students the most, just because just about every student on this campus has to pay for the Student Services Fee, and we get a lot of different services out of it. So that $465.48 that you see on your tuition bill, students are actually 100% in control of that money. When you add up just about how much every student pays, that adds up to over $14 million that we get to fund to various different entities. And you can see the type of things that we get to do. We get to review various different entities on campus that receive that funding. We do this on a 3-year cycle, so every 3 years an entity will be up for review. And you can see below, student allocations, yikes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, there we go. So you can see this year we're going to be reviewing the Center for Student Involvement, student activity fee, which includes a lot of different line items such as our travel allocations budget, diversity programming budget, and different things like that. The rec is going to also be reviewed, and then sports clubs, SGA also will be reviewed, and student legal services. So if you're really interested in any of those specific organizations, I'd really encourage you to apply. But you'll see some of the qualities down below that Student Services Fee really seeks. It's going to be a super fun committee. We're going to go really in depth and review all these entities, and ultimately try to balance out our budget, because we're on the final year of some pretty serious budget decisions that we have to make. And so if you're interested in being a part of that, I would love to have you be a part of it. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. My contact info is on the side there, and I'm happy to answer any questions right now. But please mark student services fee as number 1 this week.
All right, thanks, Blake. Are there any questions for Chair Phillips? Senator Grills.
Can you hear me? Can you just repeat?
I got you, Ashley.
Yeah. Oh, okay, great. So do we need to interview to be on your committee or any other committees, or could we just preference what we want in like the survey form and just get it?
That is an awesome
Yeah.
question. Blake, I'll take this one.
I was going to defer to you. Awesome.
Thank you. So yeah, you'll see at the very, very end of that committee interest form that there is a little question that asks if you would like to interview, and it states that you don't have to interview, but if you want to interview with us, you can schedule a time, but you are by no means required to, and we can just place you in a committee based on your responses to the questions in that survey that I emailed out to you. If you haven't filled that out, go ahead and open it up right now and start filling it out as we're giving these committee presentations, because I'm gonna say it doesn't actually officially close, but I want as many of them in by Friday night as possible so that we can have time to review those on Saturday and then have our interviews and make our decisions on Sunday. So if you, Chair Long, pick a name tent. Chair Long.
What are the advantages of interviewing though?
Yeah, so awesome question from Chair Long. The advantages of interviewing are that you get an idea of like what the committee chair is like in a smaller group setting. They get to know your personality a little bit better, and it'll give them a better idea of exactly where you're going to be your best fit. So you'll see on there that you get to interview with either one of our funding committees or one of our projects committees. The funding committees are tuition enhancements, student services fee, and student allocations, and the projects are Senate Ops, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and strategic oversight. So you'll just interview with one of the panels. If you pref like 3 funding committees first, then you'll get to meet all 3 funding chairs. If you pref like one or the other, whatever your strongest preference is who you'll interview with. But either way, you'll get a chance to meet some of the committee chairs, and they'll get an idea of who you are as a student and as a senator. Are there any further questions? All right, seeing none, Blake, you can put your hand down and turn your camera off if you want to.
Go Royals.
Are there any further committee chairs who would like to give a report? Chair Long.
Thank you. Us construction majors are known for our artistic abilities. All right, Student Allocations Committee. So we do the more in-person and point-to-point funding. So that is all student organizations. So like if you're on your majors, like what do I want to say, like society or something like that. So the Associated General Contractors Association, or if you're in an academic competition team, or if you're on a sports club, and we also fund open house. So these groups will submit requests to us. We will review them and we'll hear their presentations. We decide how much money of what they're requesting we allocate to them out of our $210,000-ish budget. So those are what we do with that. And then to be on this committee, or not to be on this committee, people who will enjoy this committee, people who are going to be good at judging situations without bias, people who are going to want to interact with student groups, and people who want to see a very tangible effect of their work in SGA, because it's very direct and it's very personable, as well as being able to engage in some good-natured debate. Yep.
Awesome. Thanks, Jacob. Are there any questions for Chair Long? All right, seeing none, you can take your seat. Thanks, Jacob. Are there any further committee chairs who would like to give a report? Chair Pondello.
Hi guys, I think that you guys should apply for DEI if you're really passionate about diverse underrepresented groups. Also, I did this last night at like 12 o'clock after a concert, so I wasn't in the right headspace, but we don't just advocate for diverse groups, we also do funding. So DPC got cut last year, got merged into DEI, so we also do funding as well. So if you like to fund events, if you like to be open, learning about different types of diverse groups, put this as number 1 on your list.
I have a question, Joseph.
Yeah, go for it.
What is DPC?
DPC, that is Diverse Programming Council or Committee. Either one. Sorry, I was on it last year. Brain fart moment.
What is that?
Yes, that was a committee that funded diverse events that provided a cross-cultural learning experience.
And is it still its own committee, or is it just a fund now?
I think it's just a fund. I don't know.
Correct.
'Cause it got
DPC is no longer a committee, so now it's just called the Diversity Programming Fund.
Got chopped.
No longer DPC.
DPF now.
Are there any questions? Senator Bellamy.
Yeah, so what concert were you at last night?
Next question. A really nice concert, a pop concert. Yes, it was Charlie XCX. Yeah, what a queen, love her.
Senator Kidd.
Can you remind us for the Diversity Programming Fund, have the due dates for those changed from what they were traditionally set as, or have they been involved to a new structure?
Yeah, so right now they sit at 50. I know it used to be around like, I'm actually going to defer this.
We'll defer to Chair Saya on that since he chaired that last year.
Thank you so much for that question, Marcus. So last year, the Diversity Programming Fund worked on a complicated set of rules that revolved around the quarter system. So, like for example, since I was the pro tem last year, I would have met a couple of weeks ago to spend money that now Joseph is going to have a chance to spend. We revised our rules to make sure that DPF works the same way that everything that Jacob does, like all of our normal allocations. So when a particular organization applies to the fund, as long as there are a certain amount of days in advance, then they're eligible to receive the funding. It's a lot more flexible. That amount of days is set at 50.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick. I will just add for DEI, if you are interested in the funding side of things, but you're really passionate about DEI issues, or you want a good mix of like a project committee and a funding committee, DEI is a great option for that.
Yeah, thanks for the little plug, Evan. Any more questions?
Senator Clara Kial.
How much money do you guys allocate?
Ooh, good question.
It is-
So right now it is 145.
Correct.
K. I don't know how much are in the reserves, just because it's my first day on the job.
There are $537 in reserves right now.
What he
I
said.
looked at it with Blake the other day, but Nick did not end up allocating all of his budget just because, we had another COVID year and allocations were down across the board. So we're putting about $80,000 into that reserve account.
Yeah, you'll see more information about that next week with some legislation that I'm bringing up. But yeah.
Are there any further questions? All right, seeing none, you can take your seat. Thank you. Oh, that's called applause. Are there any further committee chairs who would like to give a report? Chair Thomas.
Hey guys, so I am the tech chair for this year. My contact information is cut off by the thing, but that's okay. So tech is tuition enhancements. This is a committee that we didn't have last year, or this past term, because we did the restructuring. So what it does is it allocates EOF and SCTE. Over the course of these two committees, we allocate a little under $1 million. We're gonna split it roughly 50-50 is what we're thinking about doing. So EOF is the Educational Opportunity Fund. A little bit about that is that it funds recurring programs that are aimed towards helping students. So it has funded like tutoring services. And then SCTE is student-centered tuition enhancements. It is made for kickstarting new programs. We can fund programs for up to 4 years. Things like the Writing Center have been funded with SCTE before. My contact information is down there. If you have any more questions about it, want to reach out and ask any questions about the committee, feel free. And this is a funding committee, so it's one of the ways that we can see like tangible change in SGA, which is one of the really cool things about finance committees. So it'll be a really fun thing to be a part of.
All right, I have a question. Where does the EOF and SCTE money come from?
Great question, Evan Porter. It comes from our tuition. So unlike student services fee, that's like a specifically laid out thing, this is something that is taken from, the students' tuition dollars, and we're given this money from that.
Yeah, so just to add on to that, like Kate mentioned a little bit earlier, Currently, the distribution is about 1/3 of the funding to EOF and about 2/3 to SCTE. You can expect to see a resolution in introduction next week that puts those two amounts both at exactly the same amount. It's going to be a 50-50 split. This year, the funding was $900,000, so it'll be $450 and $450 if that amount holds, but they're just based on enrollment and the status of the university budget model. It's not necessarily going to be exactly $900,000. It could be just a little bit less than that, but you'll expect to see a little bit more information about that fund next week. Are there any further questions for Chair Thomas? Senator Barron.
So the money we'll be spending in this term, is that coming from the tuition that we paid for this already school year, or is it the tuition from next school year?
Yeah, so when we finalize all the accounts at the end of this fiscal year, which is the last day of June, then next we will know exactly how much money we have to spend for what we allocated this year. Like they have to get everything settled and the numbers that we allocated this year, then they'll know how much for next year. What the amount, the $900,000 figure that they give us is just a projection of their total amount of tuition dollars that they're going to collect. So what we allocated this term won't be for sure set until the end of this fiscal year. And then in the 2021-2022 term, what we allocate in the 2022-2023 term will be based on projected enrollment through the end of the next school year. And we'll know that final amount at the end of the fiscal year 23. Does that make sense to everybody?
Next year?
So next year, yep. I know that's really confusing, and fiscal year versus academic year versus calendar year, it can get kind of murky, but if you ever need clarification on that, there's a lot of people that know how to explain that maybe a little bit better than I do. But yeah, anyway, are there any further questions for Chair Thomas? All right, seeing none, you can take your seat. Thank you. And are there any further committee chairs that would like to give a report? Chair Saya.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Evan. So SGA, in my opinion, has two really fundamental functions. The first is to connect student organizations and programs with money to help support what they're trying to do. And the second is to advocate for things we believe students should have. So you've heard a lot tonight about all of the things that we can do to support students financially in different ways. The Strategic Oversight Committee is designed to handle the advocacy piece of SGA. It's really the blank canvas of our space in that its structure should be designed to allow you as a senator to work on whatever you'd like. Maybe you're passionate about environmental issues. Oversight is the place for you. Maybe you're passionate about the cost of textbooks and making sure that students have better access on campus. This committee is the place for you. Maybe you care about making sure that students have mental health resources. This committee is the place for you. Essentially, it's our job to handle long-term reform efforts that we want to see at the university level. So we're going to spend a lot of time researching, problem solving, and communicating with members of the K-State community, with members of K-State administration, with people from other SGA branches, especially members of the cabinet, to try to organize these initiatives and achieve them over time. So if those things sound exciting for you, my contact information is there. Please consider oversight.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Nick. Are there any questions for Chair Long? Nope, Chair Saya. I was thinking about you, Jacob. Senator Grills.
Yeah, no, I wanted to ask, so there's no funding involved with this committee. So do you once you have these solutions, do you talk to the heads of these organizations, or do you pass resolutions? How does the actual solution part get pushed through?
That's a really great question, Ashley. Thank you so much. So you're right. We don't have any money to spend. We're not necessarily asking student organizations like the Associated General Contractors to make changes on their end. We're asking the university administration to make changes. So we're doing two things. You're absolutely right. We're passing resolutions that affect policies that we'd like to see different. But we're also just having conversations where we as a committee can express our desire for particular changes that we want to see.
Follow up? Granted.
Okay, obviously you guys are already, I should have asked all these questions beforehand, but so have you guys already built those relationships with administrators and they've sounded pretty open to the idea of having this solution-oriented committee conversation?
Well, during our committee restructuring process,
we actually were able to talk with members of administration and we received relatively positive responses, because what this allows us to do is to make sure that all of our advocacy efforts are organized in a way that they haven't really been before. But that sets up a really great point, which is that this committee, like the Tuition Enhancements Committee, is brand new. So there's going to be a lot of space for us to start building those relationships in the first place.
Are there any further questions for Chair Saya? Senator Navarro.
I'm not sure if that's just Blake, but he has his hand up, I think.
Blake, do you have a question? Oh, thank you, Blake. Are there any further questions for Chair Saya? All right, seeing none, you can take your seat. Okay, so just to reiterate what I said earlier, if you haven't had a chance to fill out that committee interest form and you are interested in being placed on our committee, which all of you are legislated to be on at least one committee, please fill out that committee interest form. So on Sunday, whether or not you interview, we have an opportunity to get an idea of what is going to be the best fit for you, what you're most interested in. Graduate senators, I know, Marcus, you know this, but graduate senators are not actually required to serve on any standing committees, but you are more than welcome to. So if you're a grad senator and you're interested in serving on a committee, go ahead and still fill out that application and we can get you placed on one. But again, by no means is that necessary. Okay, and with that, we will now move into introduction of, oh no, director's reports. Sorry, are there any directors that would like to give a report? All right, seeing none, now we will move into introduction of legislation, and this is actually a new one. So we haven't had any pieces of legislation that were actually in introduction yet. Everything that we've done so far has been an approval of an appointment. So for all those new senators out there, introduction of legislation is when any piece of legislation that follows the 2-week process of introduction and final action gets introduced to the body. So whoever the author is will come up here, they will read the legislation in its entirety. I'll call for questions and corrections like I do any other time. And then you can ask them questions. And this is, like, with these pieces of legislation specifically, I do encourage you to ask a lot of questions because they're the ones that do the most substantive stuff in Student Senate. So we're going to be, like, when we vote on these, it'll be an actual vote as opposed to just, like, approving unanimously with a lot of, especially, like bills 1 and 2. Those are our first bills that we've seen all this year. So I do just encourage you to ask a lot of questions when we get into introduction of legislation, especially right now since we haven't seen this process yet. But anyway, that being said, is there a motion to consider Bill 1? Senator Bellamy.
I move to consider Bill 1. Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to consider Bill 1. Are there any objections? Seeing none, the author can come on down. And for those of you that have not had the opportunity to meet Tram, this is Tram Pham. She was our treasurer of KSU SGA for the last term, and Tram was also actually our last treasurer ever because we got rid of that position with some legislation. So give a hand to Tram.
Thank you for the promotions, Evan.
Of course.
Yeah, so for the one that don't know me, like I said, I'm the last treasurer, so you will no longer have treasurer for future term. But, well, there's me. So Bill 222301, FY 2023 Academic Competition Team Allocations. Author, me. Sponsor, Academic Competition Team Committee. Whereas the Academic Competition Team Committee received and reviewed the allocation requests of many academic competition teams. Whereas the Academic Competition Team developed the reputation of Kansas State University by competing at local, regional, national, and international competitions. Whereas the Academic Competition Team yield invaluable hands-on experiences to students that are hard to replicate elsewhere. Whereas students involved with academic competition teams have a significant advantage in their field of study when it comes to acquiring internships during their time at KSU and full-time employment following graduations. Whereas Chapter 47 of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association statute states that $87,300 shall be dispersed to the academic competition teams on a yearly basis, whereas the Academic Competition Team Committee deemed that the historical pre-callback amount of $90,000 should be allocated to the academic competition teams, whereas the Academic Competition Team Reserve account is projected to have significantly more than $2,700 remaining after FY 2022, and whereas the fund requested by this group and the funding recommendation made are as follows. Be it enacted that Section 1, the $87,300 disbursed to academic competition teams shall be combined with the allocation of $2,700 from the academic competition team reserve account NISA ACTRSB for the total of $90,000 that shall be allocated as specified above. Section 2, upon passage by the Student Senate and the signature of the student body president, these funds shall be transferred from the academic competition team reserve account NISAA CTRSV to the academic competition team's account specified above.
All right, thanks, Tram. Are there any questions for the author? All right, seeing none, Tram, you can take your seat. Thank you. And with that, is there a motion to consider Bill 2? Chair Thomas.
I move to consider Bill 2.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to consider Bill 2. The author, come on down.
So good to hold
Line 8, review the allocation, not allocations.
Okay.
And then line 21, funding recommendations, not recommendation. 2, I apologize. Okay. Bill 02, fiscal year 2023 allocation of sports club funds. Authors myself, sponsors the Travel Allocations Committee, the last thing ever. Whereas Travel Allocations Committee received and reviewed the allocation request of the sports clubs below, whereas all registered organizations were given ample opportunity and notification of their ability to submit funding requests, whereas 15 of the possible 15 requesting clubs presented budget proposals to the Travel Allocations Committee, whereas Chapter 51 of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association statute states that $65,470 shall be dispersed to sports clubs on a yearly basis, whereas all funds must be used per funding guidelines have been allocated accordingly, whereas the funds requested by these groups and the funding recommendations made are as follows, this table below, totaling the entire amount of $65,470. Be enacted that Section 1, the $65,470 dispersed to the sports club shall be allocated as specified above. Section 2, upon passage by the Student Body Senate and signature of the Student Body President, these funds shall be transferred from NISA SPC RSV to the respective accounts of each sports club above or distributed upon signing of the award agreement by the members of the sports club as required by the university.
Okay, thanks, Jacob. Are there any questions for the author? Andrew Booz.
Yeah, since the Travel Allocations Travel Allocations Committee doesn't currently exist, would it be better to just have individual sponsors?
The individuals, at the time when it was done, the Travel Allocation Committee still did exist and they agreed to sponsor. So,
Okay, yeah.
if the speaker feels it should be changed, I'm fine with that, but cool.
Are there any further questions for the author? All right, seeing none, Jacob, you can take your seat. Oh,
Hey, Evan, I had a question on Zoom.
oh yeah, go ahead, Blake.
Yeah, hey, Jacob. So I know that there are a lot more requests than what was actually allocated just due to budget constraints. Can you kind of go through how, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, my dogs are going nuts. Can you kind of go through how the committee determined what amounts would be funded for all of those?
Okay, yeah, sure. So, like you can see, the requests were about 3 times as much we actually have to allocate. So everyone came and presented, and basically the committee looks at the demonstrated need of each club as well as the performance of the clubs themselves and the effectiveness of which we feel they were going to be able to use the funds and our trust in their ability to use those funds. We looked at that, and then most sports clubs had specific items they were going to spend the money on. So we looked at the we mainly allocated based on the travel needs of these organizations and some equipment as well. Basically, the idea is the most tangible usefulness of the funds possible.
All right, thanks, Jacob. Senator Hoffman?
Yeah, so you would say a robot would not be a good use of this committee's money?
No.
Okay, thank you.
There was a point to that. Jacob is referring to an organization that did in fact request funds for a robot, and while I will point out that organization is allowed to spend the funds in whatever way possible because it is an ISO and we have no control over them, we did not allocate funds with the hopes that they buy a robot.
Thanks for that clarification, Jacob. Are there any further questions for the author? All right, seeing none, you may take your seat. And with that, is there a motion to consider Resolution 8? Senator Solomon.
I would consider resolution 8.
Is there a second? All right, it's been moved and seconded to consider Resolution 8. Will the author please come down?
Alrighty, Resolution 8, KSU SGA support of the Okanagan Charter. Whereas Kansas State University has a stated mission to foster excellent teaching, research, and service that develop a highly skilled and educated citizenry necessary to advancing the well-being of Kansas, the nation, and the international community. Whereas the Kansas State University Student Governing Association identifies both stewardship and equity as fundamental pillars of our purpose as a land-grant institution. Whereas the Okanagan Charter, an international chapter for health promoting universities and colleges, is a guiding framework for the role of higher education in health promotion. Whereas through defined calls to action, this charter seeks to build cultures of sustainability, well-being, and social justice on college campuses. Whereas adoption of the Okanagan Charter, beyond reaffirming the importance of health as a central value, would prompt KSU to submit proposals that to address charter aims and accelerate existing relevant university initiatives. And whereas adoption of the Okanagan Charter strengthens Kansas State's membership in the U.S. Health Promoting Universities and Colleges Network while advancing KSU's leadership in the Big 12 Conference. Be it resolved that the Kansas State University Student Governing Association encourages Kansas State University to become a signatory of the Okanagan Charter. Upon passage by the Student Senate and signature of the Student Body President, a copy of this resolution shall be sent to Morrison Family Associate Vice President for Student Wellbeing, Kathleen Hatch, Vice President for Student Life and Dean of Students, Dr. Thomas Lane, KSU Provost and Executive Vice President Charles Tabor, and KSU President Dr. Richard H. Linton.
All right, thanks, Nick. Are there any questions for the author? Andrew Booz.
Yeah, the resolution mentions defined calls to action, but doesn't have that many details about what those kind of calls to action would be. Could you kind of list some of the goals of the charter in more specific detail?
Yeah, thank you so much, Andrew. I don't know that I could name any of the particular calls to action that the report makes off the top of my head, but we have a packet that, we have the actual charter. So I can make sure that gets to Evan so that we can send that out and everyone can have a look if that seems reasonable.
Evan, would you like a couple of them? I'm looking at it right now. Yeah.
Take it away, Jacob.
Sure. So integrate health, well-being, and sustainability in multiple disciplines, approaching to develop change agents. Advance research, teaching, and training for health promotion, knowledge, and action. Lead and partner toward local and global action for health promotion. And then there's a lot about using basically local approaches to specific areas.
Okay, thanks for that, Jacob. Additionally, if anyone would like to be added as a sponsor, feel free to reach out and we can get you added as a sponsor. Now that I'm saying this, I realize that I don't have the legislation sponsorship form ready to send out, but we'll have that next week, so look out for that. Are there any further questions for the author? Pro Tempore Pineda Gomez.
If you are so inclined to be a sponsor on this, just email one of us and we will put you on.
Yep. Sorry. Anyway, are there any further questions for the author? All right, seeing none, you can take your seat. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Evan.
All right, and with that, we are now moving into second open period. Are there any second open period speakers? Chief of Staff Richenberg.
I'm not doing the gritty. I love you, but I'm not doing the gritty. Okay, hello. I definitely should have done this during director's reports, but I kind of forget that that's where I give my report now. So I'm here to talk in front of you. I know we talked about this in the announcements, but the accreditation forum is going to be taking place April 11th, 3 p.m. at Cottonwood. I know it's in the announcements, but we really, really, really want to stress, if you can be there, be there. It is super important for the university to receive financial aid for students. And so it's an open forum too. So we really, I know a lot of the executive branch is going, so we really want to make sure that some of the legislative branch is also going to be there. It'll be fun to kind of get to see the executive branch and the legislative branch together. It's a little inter-branch collaboration, fun stuff. But yeah, so it's open, so bring as many friends as you want. But yeah, seriously, it's really important. So if you are free around them, please try to make it a priority to go so students can get money.
Are there any questions for Chief of Staff Richenberg? Vice President Ebeck.
Bullied.
How can you get more information as in like a group?
Thank you so much, Jeff. Yeah, if you want to be, we have a little group chat with some people at SGA and other people. So if you do want to get more information, please feel free to reach out to me or anybody in the exec branch, but specifically me, and I can get you set up with that and get you all the information.
Are there any further questions for Chief of Staff Richenberg? All right, seeing none, you can take your seat, Marta. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any further second open period speakers? Chair Long.
Sorry, Marta. Continuing in the occasional series of Jacob's Report of Art Museums, over spring break, I had the opportunity to go to the Joslyn Art Museum in Omaha, Nebraska, which was not the main purpose, and I didn't realize how much of a serious art museum it was until I was standing in front of a painting saying, this looks kind of like a Monet, and looked down and it in fact was a real Monet. I guess learning new things when there are really famous paintings, they're apparently called Old Masters, and the Joslyn Art Institute has like 9 of them. So real Rembrandts, real Picassos, real Monets, and a Da Vinci. And they were really, really cool. And before I get asked, my favorite painting was Landscape by Bertelli. I'd suggest if you haven't gone.
Thanks, Jacob. Are there any questions for Chair Long? Seeing none, you can go ahead and take your seat. Are there any further second open period speakers? All right, seeing none, Pro Tempore Pineda Gomez is going to take it away.
Hey, Evan, I've got one.
Okay. Hey, Bryce, will you make sure that you shout those out to me because I'm not looking at the Zoom all the time? Thanks. Go ahead, Blake.
Sorry about that. Hey, everyone. So I know that we've been talking a lot about committees tonight, and those are going to be some really important decisions that are made and are super cool. No matter what committee you get put on, you are more than welcome. Any student in general is more than welcome to come to any committee meeting at any time. Those are complete. Oops. There we go. Those are completely open to the student body, so please feel free to come. I specifically want to invite everyone to Senate Exec on Tuesday. I know that we're going to have some students coming who are going to be talking about some legislation that we have and how it impacts them. So if you want to be a part of that conversation, please feel free to join. We'd love to have you there. And if you really want to see what committees look like before you get placed on one, or what the Senate Executive Committee does in general, please feel free to come. It's on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. And let Evan know if you want to come on Zoom or anything like that. So thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, Blake. Just to follow up with that, like Blake said, we do always have a Zoom option for Senate Executive Committee. If you want that Zoom link, go ahead and reach out to me. If you think you're interested in attending or anything, or you want to maybe have the Zoom link ahead of time, just have the option. Reach out to me and I can like CC you on the email that includes the agenda for Senate Exec, or if you just want to see what Exec is talking about every week, you can get that agenda as well. But are there any questions for Chair Phillips? Chair Thomas?
Can you also apply to be an at-large member?
On Senate Exec?
No, on committees.
Oh.
'Cause
Excellent question, Chair Thomas. On the first day of the fall semester, there is going to be an application that opens for the at-large committee member positions that we have on 5 of our 6 standing committees. These are great opportunities for you to throw yourself into another committee if you're really dedicated or you're free on like a Sunday or Monday evening. That's when all the members that are the committees that accept at-large members meet. So if you want to get involved a little bit more, you can fill out that at-large committee member application that will open on the first day of the fall semester. Thanks for that question, Kate. Are there any further questions? All right, seeing none, are there any further second open period speakers? Seeing none, Pro Tempore Pineda Gomez is going to take it away with Senate shoutouts.
All right, everybody, it's your favorite time of night for Senate shoutouts. to kick it off, when will we create an allocation for Marta to get a Grammarly subscription? Reporter for writing everything, apparently. Shout out to all the cool committees. What goddess does Joseph's eyebrows? Ooga ooga. Is Nick Saya Italian with those hand movements?
Yes, he is.
Shout out to Jacob's expressive eyebrows. Bryce can finally play Minecraft in peace without anyone seeing it. Shout out to Jacob J. Long's eyebrows. This week's SGA member of the week is Jacob Long's fuzzy caterpillar. Shout out to Bryce for being so Brycey. I could watch an entire show with. It's another one about Jacob's eyes. I want to see Blake's dog. Shout out to Chair Phillips and his liking of baseball. I'm a robot, apparently. Shout out to all the new cabinet members. Shout out to a short Senate. Yes. Shout out to the new committee chairs. Congrats, Joseph. You're going to do great things for DEI.
Can I interrupt you, Juan? There is a dog on the Zoom. Thank you, Blake.
What's your dog's name, Blake?
Her name is Daisy, and this is Rusty.
All right, I'm using the rest of the SGA budget to travel to Tonganoxie to meet Blake's dogs. Anyway, continue.
Shout out to the new committee chairs. Congrats, Joseph. You're going to do great things for DEI. Shout out to Chair Saya for a good resolution.
No, read the word.
For a sexy resolution. Congrats, Nick. You're going to do great things for oversight. Congrats, Jacob. You're going to do great things for SAC. Congrats, Blake. You're going to do great things for SSF. Congrats, Bentley. You're going to do great things for ops. Congrats, Kate. You're going to do great things for tech. Juan, you should do a hair flip. Your hair seems very flippable. Congrats, Kennedy. Congrats to the new senators. Kate, I love your tattoo, Queen. Hello, Kyle Dahl. Jeffrey Allen Ebeck. That's the shout out. Shout out to our new legislative branch advisor, Derek Jackson.
Yeah, on that note, Derek Jackson, who's sitting there in the back of the room, is going to be our legislative branch advisor this year. So give a quick round of applause for Derek.
We have two left, not the aggressive microphone grab, yikes at Jacob, and shout out to Jacob's trip to art.
All right, and with that, we will move into second roll call. Take it away, Juan.
All right. To kick it off, Anderson. Here. Bannister.
Here.
Barron.
Here.
Bellamy.
Here.
Broughton.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Byrne. Compton.
Here.
There we go. Cranford. Gold.
Here.
Grills.
Here.
Gromes.
Here.
Heatherman. Hoffman.
That's me.
Colory Kjol.
Here.
Kidd.
Here.
Nisla.
Here.
Lister. Long.
Here.
Lynn.
Here.
McFarland.
Here.
McPhee.
Here.
Navarro.
Here.
O'Donohue. Oury.
Here.
Pelton.
Here.
Phillips.
Here.
Pilchard.
Here.
Pondillo.
Here.
Saya.
Here.
Shear.
Here.
Shear. And Strout.
Here.
Talbert.
Here.
Thomas.
Here.
Volgamore.
Here.
And Wolf.
Here.
That's everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, Juan. Is there a motion to adjourn? Chair Thomas.
I move to adjourn until next week, same time, same place.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn until the same time, until next week at the same time, at the same place. Are there any objections? All right, seeing none, we will now stand adjourned.
Yeah.
If you all want to leave your name tags just on the tables, I will come and collect them. Thank you.
I looked over. I know I was actually, I just don't know. I actually but I don't think really.
If you're coordinating on DEI, legislatively, as you said, the long ones are the only ones that are
I just, if they're gonna
So, part of the